Okay, so I think it's not recorded till now. Just we have done a recap with it. Don't worry. So I'm gonna give service command now. Which command? Service Docker start and service Docker. It is also a command. Like instead of systemctl, I just replace service command. Which command? Both are going to give the same output, sir. It is going to start our services. Is the concept clear for you now? Fine. So now here in today's class, I'm going to tell you the exact meaning of virtualization. Virtualization means the process of using the hardware resource in a better way. But OS level of virtualization means, for example, if you have an operating system, inside the operating system, I have files, packages, folders, everything I have. If I take the backup of complete operating system, it is going to call as OS level of virtualization. That means complete OS you are going to copy or not. Let's understand this. Like, let me open the pane now. If I open the pane, like you are going to get some clarity. First of all, I'll get the image, sir. What I'll get? So image is required to create container. Image is required to create what? So from now, our class are going to be an Ubuntu operating system. Why? Because till now, all of you are seeing the Red Hat flavor only, right? But in real time, you need to work on Ubuntu servers as well. So half of the part is completely Red Hat. Next half of the part from now is on your Ubuntu servers. Okay? Why? Because I want to teach both of the flavors for you. So I'm taking an operating system called Ubuntu. So Ubuntu is image for me. What it is? That means inside the image Ubuntu, I have the Ubuntu operating system. From there, I'm going to create a container. What I'm going to create? Let's do this. Sir, how to get the Ubuntu image, sir? Docker pull Ubuntu fall. Why Docker is going to fall, man? Docker pull Ubuntu means it is going to download the Ubuntu image. So if you give the command Docker images, all these command we have seen on last class, okay? Are you seeing the Ubuntu image? From this image, I want to create a container. What I want to create? Tell me the command to create container. Instead of pull, replace run. I want to go inside. IT means interactive terminal. Name of the container. Done now? So it is the command. So I'm writing the notes from now as of wait, control end. Sorry. For Docker, we don't have any port numbers by default. Why? Because with the help of Docker, we are not confined to anything. But with the help of Docker, we can create port for containers. That container is going to access the application. I'll show you, don't worry, okay? Like a port number means like what kind of port number? There are a lot of things for the Docker. Like if you want Tomcat for Docker 8080 still and port number is 9000, like there are a lot of ports for it. I'll tell like how the ports are going to work. That I am giving. Up to my choice, right? No. By default, I need to give the container name. Otherwise, default name will come for the container. Okay, default name is like it will get some random name actually. There is no particular name for the container. By default, we need to give own name for our container. That concept you are going to get clarity when we are into Docker Swarm. I'll tell you, like in Docker Swarm, we are going to work with services. For each service, the container name is going to allocate by default. Okay, Docker Compose and Docker Swarm, we need to finish for it. OS level of virtualization. First of all, give the command Docker pull Ubuntu. After that, give the command Docker run. Now you will be inside container. Try to run the command apt update. Guys, till now you are using m update, right? But Ubuntu is not going to support m. Ubuntu is going to support apt. For Red Hat, the package manager will be m. Till now. But for Ubuntu, what is the package manager? APT means advanced packager tool. What is the meaning of APT? So for fresher, it is going to be an interview question. What's the meaning of APT? It's a package manager used to install packages for Ubuntu, and it is the extension is advanced packager tool. Fine then. So here I'm gonna install some tools like packages. APT install. I'm gonna install Git. Gonna install Maven. I'm gonna install Apache 2. Basically HTTPD, right? We need to give. But in Ubuntu, we need to give Apache 2. The package name is going to change for Red Hat and Ubuntu servers. Already this we have seen on Ansible, right? If you remember. So let's install tree package. How many packages I'm installing, sir? 4 packages I'm gonna install. And there is a note point without updating, your packages will not install in Ubuntu. I'm writing couple of note points here in starting of the notes only. Note APT is package manager for Ubuntu. For Red Hat or Amazon Linux, the package manager is yum. But for Ubuntu, the package manager is APT. Here without updating or like simple without running apt update -y, we can't install packages. Clear, sir? Fine. So here I am writing the working. So how it is going to working. So if you give this one, it is going to install all the packages now. Are you seeing the packages is installing? Sure. Is it done, sir? Can we check the versions? Git --, Apache 2 --. Seeing the Apache 2 on. Basically, we need to give Apache 2 -v. It's fine. Seeing Apache version. Then tree. Then finally, which one? All of them are installed. I would like to come out of the container. Control PQ. What I want to give? Now, if you give Docker ps-a, are you seeing the container or not, sir? Inside the container, what you are having? Of course, image. Like image we are having. Inside that image, we are having OS. Inside the OS, we install some packages or not, sir? And after that, I would like to install some more things. Docker attach. Attach means if you want to go inside the container, command is docker attach command. Which command? Container 1. I want to create some files. Touch file 1.5. Are you seeing 5 files created here? Come out of it. What is the command to enter into the container? Attach is the command. Which command? Fine. Sir, now here I'm going to create some files as well. Touch file 1.5. Now what I'm going to do, you know, inside this container 1, whatever I install here, Git, Maven, Apache, tree, and I have some files. Sir, all of these files and packages are running inside my operating system or not, sir? But the operating system is inside the container 1. Where it is? Now what I am going to do, you know, from this container 1, I am going to create an image. From this container 1, what I am going to create? Our custom image. Image name can be anything. For example, here I am giving the image name as Raham. What is the name of the image? Sir, the moment when I create the image from the container, whatever the objects inside the container is also going to come to that image. Sir. Directly the objects are going to copy. Where the objects are going to copy from? From the container 1, I'm going to create an image. What is the name of the image? Raham, whatever the objects inside the container is directly going to copy. I'll show you. But before that, let me copy this one and give it here. Seems a big. Let me increase size. Fine now. So here Raham is the image basically. Here Raham is what? Image. Let me give. So let's do the process. How to do it means the process of copying the content from container to images by using the command called docker commit command. Which command? The moment if I give the command docker commit, currently how many images you have? How many containers you have? Give the command docker commit. I want to copy the content of container 1 to image called Raham. Here container 1 is the name of the container where you are copying the content from. And here Raham is the your custom image. What is Raham here? Now whatever the content you are seeing on container 1 directly copying to the Raham image. Is it done, sir? Now? Now if you go and see, if you give the command docker images, previously how many images you have? But now how many you are seeing there? Inside this Raham image, you have everything or not, sir? Sir, now if I create a container from Raham image, all of the packages will go to container 2 or not, sir? Think logically. First of all, I take one base image. Inside this base image, I create a container and I install all of these packages on my OS. Now, OS level of virtualization means complete OS I'm taking backup. To where I'm taking the backup to a image. Now, if I create a container from the existing image, in this image, whatever the objects I have on Raham image is going to come inside my container or not, sir? So let's see. Like instead of drawing this one more time, directly I can copy paste this one better. But instead of container 1, the name is now container 2. Let me replace container 1 with container 2. So I'm gonna give it as container. Can we check this? If I create a container from image Raham, I need to get all of these packages inside my container 2. Tell me the command to create container 2. Hyphen name container. What is the image name? If you give git hyphen version, are you seeing Git now? And give Maven. Maven means MVN. Seeing it, sir? Tree package. Seeing it or not, sir? Apache, are you seeing it or not, sir? Finally, files and even folders. That means complete OS we have taken the backup or not, sir? This is what you call as OS level of virtualization. OS level of virtualization means what is inside the OS, completely we are going to create a backup of it. Process clear now? Fine. But sir, if I take the copy from container 1 to container 2, I want to create an image. Correct or not? Is the process clear for all of you? All in, what about you? Is the process clear for everyone? Can you please confirm in chat once? Why? Because guys, like if you understand this concept, your Docker is going to be easy. If you don't understand this image concept, we cannot work with Docker. If you want to work on Docker means you need to have only image. With the help of image, you can do whatever you want, sir. Okay, seems everyone is pretty clear with it. In the meanwhile, what you are going to do now is take a picture of it. Why? Because you can write the notes later, but take a picture of it now. Clear now? Okay, fine then. Control PQ, just come out of it. Sir, whatever the process we have done, this is the process which we are not going to use on real time. Ah, correct only. You heard correct. Whatever the process we done now, this process we are not going to use on. Why? Because this is manual process. Which process? You seems the work is very easy, right? But it is manual process in my point of view. I'll ask you a question. Sir, you create a container. Inside this container, you install some packages. And again, you create image, correct or not, sir? From the image, directly you create container, correct? For example, if you want to create one more container, and if you want to install the same packages again you need to run all the comments or not, sir? Again for container 3 also, running comments. Again for container 4 also. We don't do like that in real time. What we are going to do is entire comments, what I want to run inside the container, I'm going to place inside a file. Where I'm going to place? I'll reuse the file multiple times. For example, if you write a file, can we reuse the file, sir? Let's take playbook. Playbook can we reuse or not? Like that here, we are going to use a file called Docker file, which the main intention is to create the image automation. So in real time, we are going to automate the process of image creation with the help of Docker file. Very, very important concept. Damn sure first question on your interview. Tell me about Docker file. Why? Because in your entire Docker, the first thing you are going to start working is writing a Docker file. You will install Docker, then you write Docker file first. So make the heading as Docker file. What is the name of the heading? And in Docker file, D is capital, sir. Don't forget this one. Docker file means how many points I wrote here? Again, we have still a lot of points, but first of all, stick to the basics. Docker file means what? It's a way of creating images automatically. We can reuse the Docker file for multiple times. For example, let's create an application with version 1. In version 2 also, you write the same code with some minimal changes, right? Here also, whenever I write Docker file for version 1, for version 2, I can reuse the same file and I can change minimal changes like that. So in Docker file, D will be, and components inside the Docker file also a capital. Now the process is, first of all, you will write the Docker file. From the Docker file, you are going to create. From the image, you are going to create. Repeat. What is going to happen? Docker file, image, container. Docker file, image, container. Whatever the packages you want to install inside the container, you are going to write that packages on Docker file. In my container, I want Git, sir. I'll write on Docker file. I don't write multiple times command. I'll write only one time. Fasak. Clear now? So let's see the Docker file now. In Docker file, we want to understand about components. What do you want to understand about? Basic question for all of you. But before that, write some content about Docker file. I'll give a couple of minutes. Write that 4 points. Why? Because in practice, you need to understand this on your own words. Don't write the components. In the menu, I'll add some components. Don't write the components, like write only content. Why? Because component I need to explain. So what is your component number one? I'll ask you a basic question. In container, I want to install Git package. If I want to install a package, I need to have operating system or not, sir? This from is going to give me the operating system. Which component is going to give the operating system? Use OS. Clear now? Go to Docker. From Ubuntu. That means now I am taking the Ubuntu operating system to install my packages. Correct or not, sir? From is the base image, which is going to give the operating system for our container. Next, if I want to install any package, if I want to execute any Linux command, I need to use which component here? Run. Run means to execute. Sir, apt update, apt install git, apt install maven. All these are my Linux commands or not, sir? To execute Linux command, which component you need? Run. So give the command apt, first of all, do update. Why? Because without update, your packages are not going to be run. Now give run apt install git maven tree. Same process. What we have done there. Again, I'm doing the same process. So now just try to execute this Docker file. Is the example number one for Docker file. Of course, we are going to see at least 5 examples here in a least case. Topic is only one, but 5 to 6 examples are minimum I'm going to teach you now. Is Docker file built now? Docker file built or not, sir? Fine. Sir, whenever you write some component inside the Docker file, if you want to run it, we want to build the file. What we want to do? Build means to run the Docker file. Command is docker build -t. T is the tag. What is the name of the image? Image name is image1. Or let's take a application called Swiggy. Which application? Or even Netflix as well. Why? Because we are going to deploy Netflix, right? So take Netflix v1. v1 is the version 1 for the image. Docker build means running the Docker file. -t means tag. And that Netflix is image. v1 is the version for the image. Currently, where is your Docker file? On my current directory, right? Current to directory means what I want to indicate. Dot. Dot is nothing but your current directory. I want to build Docker file on my current directory. Why? Because Docker file is on my root folder or not, sir? I want to give dot. Dot means my current folder. Everything is going to perform now. See, I'm not going to do anything. Update is working or not, sir? Now, if you see, I'm running the commands manually or automationally. Where I pasted the commands? Inside the file. Can I use the file one more time? Third time? Now, if you see, the image build is successfully done. What happened here? Image build is successfully done. It is the image ID. It is the name of the image. Now, if you go and give the command docker images, Are you going to get the Netflix image one? Now try to create container from the image Netflix and try to check whether the packages are existing on my OS or not. Can we do it? Now I have the Netflix image. Inside the Netflix image, what I have? Apache, Git, Maven, I have or not, sir? Can we check it? If I want to check it, first of all, I want to create a container from the image. Tell me the command. Docker run. I am giving container 1, 2 is there. Container 3, right? Container 3 and image name is V1. Try to check. Apache 2 hyphen. We are using Apache. Seeing Git version, sorry, Git hyphen version. Seeing Git here. Seeing Maven here. Seeing tree or not, sir? Where all these packages came from? These all packages came from image. Where image came from? See, where image came from? Docker file. First of all, I write Docker file. From Docker file, what I create? From the image, what I create? Inside the container, you have everything or not, sir? Like that. So the command to build Docker file is docker build -t dot. And command to create container, already you know what is the command to create container, right? This is the command to create a container. Clear, sir? No? No. Basically, as per the Docker, we can maintain a single Docker file on single folder. If you want to create one more Docker file, you can create a folder. Clear? For each folder, we will maintain only one Docker file. Clear? Sorry? Current folder. If you want to create one more Docker file, go to one more folder. Just go to cd opt or cd bin or create your custom folder. Then write one more Docker file. It's fine. Fine now. So run is clear for all of you, from and run both. But sir, run is going to run the commands on image creation. If you go and see here, while I create images only, my packages are installing or not, sir? You see, the moment if I give the command, docker build means I am creating the image, correct or not? While creating the image only, my packages are installing, correct or not, sir? CMD is one more component which is used to execute the Linux command, but CMD will execute the command during container creation. That means if you give a image, like if you give a command to install MySQL, that MySQL is going to install when you create the container only. Currently, our packages are installing while image creation. But if you give command, package will install. But when it is going to install after container creation. Clear now? We are going to check it now. So now give the CMD here. VM Docker file. So here I'm going to give now CMD. What I'm going to give? apt install MySQL -server, or you can install Java as well. Java means default JRE-y. That is the command to install. Clear now? Sir, which component I gave here? CMD is going to execute the command when during image creation or container creation. Try to build the image. You can build the same version V1 or you can build version V2 as well. Let's build different versions for initial days. Then we are going to use the same version for all the Docker files. Tell me the command to create image from the Docker file. Docker build version 2 I'm taking. What I'm taking? Lastly, I want to give. Now, if you see, command is not performed here. Command is not. When this command is going to perform, you know, it is going to install Java when you create container. Can we create container now? Tell me the command to create container from Netflix version 2. Docker run -it -name container 4. Netflix dot is not required. It is not image, right? It is container. Now inside the container, your command is going to work. Are you seeing your command is working now? Initially you install package, sir, but where it install during image creation only. That means before creating the container, your run is executed. But CMD is executing when you create container only or not, sir? That is the difference. Interview point of view question. What is the difference between run and CMD? And by default, when you execute CMD directly, your container is going to be on stopper state. Why? Because there is a process to run CMD. If you want me to give the command docker ps-a. Sir, this container 4 came to which state? Why? Because if you want to use the CMD, we need to use square braces and double quotes. But directly here I ran the plain command, but don't worry, I'm also going to show how to use it on double quotes and braces. But is the difference clear for everyone? What is the difference between run and CMD? Tell me, what is the difference between run and CMD, sir? Run executes command during image creation, but CMD execute command. Clear now? Everyone. What about you online? Are these first 3 components clear for everyone from run and CMD? Can you please confirm in chat box if it is clear for you? Is the class going a bit speed? Tell me, man. Is it on regular flow or like? I think Shivam, you might have some internet issue. Why? Because if there is some internet issue, my voice is going to be a bit speed. And even the hardware is also like, it is going to have some issues. Why? Because when I heard my own classes, sometimes even I feel the class is a bit speed. But it is not always going to happen. Depends upon the internet connection. If the class is speed means both online and offline need to get it right. But only online people are getting means it's not from my end, guys. It might be due to internet issue or like any other issue. Recap, run and CUM. It's CMD, man. Fine. So again, one more time, I'm going to repeat for you. Run and CMD main purpose is to execute the. No. Run and CMD use it to execute the Linux commands only. But when run is going to execute the command, CMD. That means, first of all, if you run the Docker file, image is going to create or not, sir? When the image is creating, your run is going to execute. But if you give CMD, when you build the Docker file, your command will not execute. When it is going to execute, when we create the container only. That's the difference. Hope it is clear for you online now. It's not about the internet speed, it's about your technical skills, sir. If your technical skills is good, like how the class is going to be speed? Like I'm not getting the speed here. Guys, are you feeling the same thing? Yes or no? Tell me, man. All of you know. Sure. So like it's not from my end, guys. How you identify that command not running during image creation? If it is running, you need to get like this, right? If it is running, you need to get all these logs. But if you see here, for CMD, I'm not getting any logs, guys. If we go and search here, for CMD, am I getting any logs here? But for run, am I getting the logs or not, sir? That's it. I hope it is clear for you, Uday. Fine. The next component is copy and add. Copy local files to container. Second one is add. To copy internet files. Sir, for example, I have a file on my local. I want to copy the local file to my container. In that case, I can use copy component. Which component? Again, same. I have a file on internet. Let's take Apache Tomcat. Tomcat is on internet, right? I have that file. That file also I want to copy to my container, sir. In that case, we need to use add component. Which component? First of all, what I'm going to see is here. Open the Docker file. But before that, let me give the example number 2. Example number 2. Again, you need to give build. Again, you need to create the container. Okay, this is going to be fixed. Sir, for example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this CMD now. Why? Because if I give CMD, it is going to exit. Copy. I am copying a file called index.html. Which file I am copying to the container? To TMP folder. That means I am copying my index.html file, which is on my local, to the container TMP folder. Which folder? Again, I am giving add. Go to internet and type dlcdn.apache.org. You can get Maven. /Maven. Currently 3.8.8 is there. Get this tar file. Copy the link. Sir, currently is this file on my local or internet? Copy this file. And give / clear now? How many attributes I'm using here? 2 attributes. Copy is to copy the local file to the container. To which path I'm copying? TMP is the destination. Add. Add is to download the files from internet and copy to the container. Currently is that Maven file on my local. Where it is on? I give the path and again I give /TMP. TMP means is the destination folder. Which folder? So now try to build the Docker file. Try to build the Docker file. So it is going to give the output or not, sir? One thing. When you try to build, give me the command docker build -t Netflix v3 dot. That is expected error only. Now you are going to troubleshoot the error. Very, very easy. If you want to troubleshoot the error, how many of you want to troubleshoot the error? Raise your hands. You don't want to troubleshoot, eh? But then raise your hands. All of you want to troubleshoot, right? You know which skill is required now? Reading English. Which skill is required now? Sir, straightly read this error. Huh? File not found means there is no file. Which file there is no? Sir, if I want to copy the index.html to my container, first of all, it need to have been local or not, sir? But in local, do you have index.html? Then how it is going to copy, sir? If you read the errors properly, troubleshooting is very easy. Lot of people, they see error means error. Oh, what error, what error? They are going to see the Docker file. First of all, before approaching the Docker file, you need to read what is exactly written there. Copy failed. Why it failed? File not found in build context or exclude by Docker ignore. Stat index.html. File does not exist means, first of all, which file I am copying? Index.html. I want to check it or not, sir? That's it. Now create an index.html. VM index.html and write some content. Just I am writing one small basic h1 tag. Hi all. This is my Netflix app. I'm writing just a small tag here. H1. Now, do you have the index.html? Can I build the file now? Is it done, sir? No? That is how it is going to work for you. Now, from this image, Can I create container? Tell me the process. Name, container, 5. Container 4 is there. We cannot give same name for multiple containers. And image. Netflix v3. Now currently you are on which folder, sir? By default you will be on root path. Which path? So I want to go to which folder now to check? TMP. Are you seeing index.html? Where it came from? My local. Are you seeing Apache tar file? Where it came from? Internet. Now are these two components working properly or not, sir? Is the concept clear for you? But here by default when I log into my server, I am on root path. Which path? Directly if I go to TMP, it is going to be advantage or not, sir? Instead of changing the command, by default it is going to be root path. But whenever if I create a container, I want to go to TMP path directly. Which path? In that case, what I'm gonna do is, I can use a component called workdir. What is the name of the component? Workdir means to go inside a folder directly, or simply to go desired folder. Desired folder means which folder you want. I want to go which folder? TMP. Which folder, sir? Now in Docker file, I'm going to write this. Come out of the container. VM Docker file. But before that, let me give this example. Have I given the example number 3 for you? It is done right. Fine. Now example number 4. Sir, here I'm giving what now? Workdir. What I'm giving? Workdir means working directory. /TMP. That means directly whenever you open container, you will be going to which path? Previously you go to root path, but this time you are going to go TMP. One more thing is we can add label. Label means who write this Docker file we can add. For example, author is Raham Sheikh. Author spelling is wrong. Who write this Docker file? You can give labels like that. Okay. So now this I'm gonna give as your example number 4. Try to build the file. Tell me the command. Docker -t Netflix V1, V2, V3 there. Of course, you can use same version as well. There is nothing going to be difference. Let's take version 3 only now. Already have version 3, right? It is what you call as image updation. Image updation means running with the same version with different packages. Dot. Done, sir, no? Can we create a container now? Tell me the command. Container 5, 5 or 6? 6. Now, image is. Oh, sorry, I gave version 1. Fine. Don't worry. I'll give version 3 now. Container number 7. Currently, we are on which path now? TMP. How we came to TMP? Because in workdir, I mentioned the TMP folder. Which folder? Clear or not, sir? Again, come out of the container. So this is how it is going to work, sir. First of all, let's recap all of them. First component is from is to get the second one. Run and CMD both is used to execute Linux command, but run will work. CMD will work. Copy versus add. Easy to copy the local files to container. Copy. Add means internet files. Workdir means to go to desired folder and label to attach our tags or labels. We want to see how the label is attached. We can give the command docker inspect command. Which command? Which container you want to inspect? Inspect command is going to give end-to-end information of a container. Currently, if you go, you can see something called as labels. Of course, you can use grep as well. But first of all, let me show this one. For image, you will see the labels. Are you seeing labels here? One second, not here. Let me share a bit down. Are you seeing labels here? What is the label here? But instead of searching like this, just to give grep command. Why? Because it is going to save a lot of time for you. Grep -I search for author. What do you want to search for? Who is author now? Getting or not? So docker inspect is the command used to get the complete information of a object. We want image information, docker inspect image name. You want container information, docker inspect container name. Like that. This one I am going to give here. Clear everyone? Now example number 5. I'm going to teach you. env versus arguments. What I'm going to teach you about? Both environment and arguments are variables. Both env and args are variables. Variables which run inside container. Arguments are different. Variables which run outside the container. Where? That means env you are going to define inside the image. Inside the image. If I define inside the image, it is going to work inside container. But arguments are you are going to pass to container. env you will give on image, but arguments you are going to give on container. So this is for image. env we pass on image. Arguments you pass for containers. I'll teach env now. Arguments I'll teach you later. Give env. For example, name is Rahamai, or let's give name is Vijay. One more variable, env. Client is Swiggy. What is? Again, build the image. Same image you can build, sir. I'm building the same image now. Version 3. And again, I'm going to create the with container number. Just to give this echo dollar name. I think Vijay. Echo dollar client. Seeing it or not, sir? So this is how it is going to work for you. Come out of it. This is example number 5. Once you create the container, check echo dollar name dollar. Run the comments inside. Clear, sir? And there are some other components in Docker file, that is entry point. Entry point is nothing but high priority than command. That means command and run both work for same purpose. But entry point, high priority, then CMD. And some other, you are going to have volume component. Which component? Which is your tomorrow's concept. I'm just telling the theoretical part now. Use it to create volume for container. Volume is nothing but it's a folder which contains the data of container. If you want to store something inside the container, you need to create volume. What we need to create? Simply, like for server, we have EBS volume, right? For container also, we are going to have volume, which is going to store the data. Last one, expose. Expose is used to give port number. Give port number. Let me write this as well, but these two, again, I'm going to repeat on some other concept, but for your glimpse, I'm giving. Just to give volume. For example, I want to create a volume called volume 1. What I want to create? Next, I'm going to expose the application of port number 8080. Now run this one. Again with the same image you can do. Netflix version 3. Container name I am giving container number 9. So now come out of the container. But before that, what is the name of the volume? Volume 1. Come to the home path. Come to the home path and give LL. Sorry. CD slash and give LL. Are you seeing my volume 1? How it created? From the image or not, sir? I haven't created volume, but it is created automatically. Again, this is tomorrow's concept, but I just gave a glimpse of it. Just a overview. Second one is expose. Expose is to expose the application. Give the port number. If I give Docker PS -A, what is the port number I give? So now if you go and see, you will see 8080 here. Only for this container. Correct or not, sir? Again, these concepts, expose, entry point, volume, I'm going to repeat on a future concepts, but just I gave a glimpse of it. Clear now? So now this is enough for today. Why? Because if you are comfortable with creating the Docker images, you can do anything. Okay, I don't want to tell much concepts today. This is enough. Docker file is single concept, but how many examples we have done, sir? Almost all. This is 6th one. Okay, concept is single, but the reason why it is multiple example means you need to understand the process. If you understand the stuff theoretically, you can do practical stuff. Simply for run, one example is enough. Copy one example is enough. Add one example is enough, right? Like all of the components I write on one file and I can explain, but it is not the way. If I do like that, you cannot able to learn the subject. Clear now? So that's it for today's session. Now coming to the doubts and queries part before, how the class for today, Docker? It's a bit difficult to understand, but once you practice, it is going to be more easy. Why? Because everything doesn't come that much of easily. Don't expect Docker to be Ansible. Ansible is very easy, right, when compared to Docker. But Docker is going to be more easy when you practice. Starting, you felt Jenkins is too good. But when Ansible comes, you forgot Jenkins and Ansible is too good, right? Now what comes into the picture now? Now, after 2 days, you will forget about Ansible and you are going to tell, sir, Docker is very good tool, sir. Okay? Guys, we cannot able to understand all concepts at day one. Even if I try to learn any new concept, for example, you know, there are some other tools like New Relic, Datadog, these are the other tools actually. Even if I try to learn them, it will take some time even to me understand. Okay? The first thing is, I would like to make clear for all of you is, first of all, forget about how much you are remembering on the class. Is the class going smoothly and are you able to catch the points? Are you comfortable with it? Then if it is clear for you, depends upon the practice, how you are going to learn the subject. Clear now? Okay, now online, how's the class for today? Can you please confirm in short ones? Okay, seems everyone is comfortable with the class today. Great. So now, any doubts or any queries you are having, you can ask me. But there is no run also, it's showing log. The example you should know, like you misunderstand that one. After your practice, see, for run, it is going to show you the logs, but for CMD, it won't show you the logs. Okay. So now online, you can go with your doubts and queries session online. It is your class date 1708. And one more thing, like I'm going to teach you a command. For example, like how many containers are there? At least I have 9 containers, correct or not, sir? What is the command to delete the container? Docker rm. Which one? Docker rm is the command used to delete the, but sorry, if I have multiple containers, I want to delete them all at a single time. Star will not work. Star is also for like only files. Kill not, I'll tell you. There is a command for it. So ninja technique, we can call them, right? Smart techniques like this. Sir, what is the command to list all the containers? Oh, no, containers. Docker ps. I'll get all containers list. But if I want IDs, just to give Q. If I give Q, only IDs will come. Correct or not, sir? Now, Docker ps-aq means it is going to get all the IDs. Correct or not, sir? Make this as variable. What are you making it as? In this variable, do you have all Docker containers IDs or not, sir? With the command docker stop or docker kill. Docker stop docker ps-aq means it is going to stop all of the containers. All of the container IDs on this variable now. Clear or not, sir? Done. Now you can give the command docker ps-a. All of them are on which state? Why? Because I done with the dollar with the help of variable. Now give the command docker rm. Done now? There is no containers left. Seeing any container? So this is the command you want to learn for your easy work. I'm gonna give it here. First command is going to give the container IDs. Second command to stop all containers. Here I need to put stop. Here to delete. Same like can we do for images? Docker images. Am I getting images? If I want to get only IDs, just to give Q. What I want to give? So listing the IDs, sir. Again, make it as a variable. Variable means Docker RMI, remove image. RMI means remove. Hyphen F means forcefully. Done or not, sir? First command to print image IDs. First command is to print the. Second command to delete. Clear now? So in this way, like you can delete all the objects of a Docker, like simple way to do all of this. So now these commands I'm gonna give on your GitHub. What is your repository name? 1709, 1708 kada? That's it. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts or any queries, we can move to lab now and we can do practice. Sorry, good for today? Any doubts or any queries or any confusion in the Docker concept today?